in my nightgown with my kids for a while, and then if I don't have to be very presentable, I'll be wearing jeans or corduroys, or it's getting warm in New York now, so a light dress, nothing very fancy, and nothing that I care that much about because it's bound to get dirty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, just to answer the Met question, because that's the most specific, is that, you know, every year there's a theme, and the theme is enormously helpful. So this year, as you know, it was from chaos to couture. And so I think probably like everybody, I thought about that theme and thought about how much do I really want to embrace it, how literal do I not want to be, or do I want to be? And since I don't have a long storied history as a punk myself, you know, what kind of look should I wear that night that, you know, kind of is a nod and embraces the theme and is part of the celebration without looking like a complete lunatic. But it's an invitation that you kind of take seriously and that you give it some thought, and of course you have fun with it. I mean, it's not supposed to be a rigidly correct evening. It's an evening that is supposed to have some frivolity and some fun, and it allows for some fantasy, which is really nice. And then on other occasions that are more conventional, you think more about, you know, what's appropriate and what is the weather and what is the reason you're there, and probably not unlike the way that you make a decision about getting dressed.
The city, which is your most memorable character, of course. How much of you is in the character of Carrie Bradshaw? How much of Carrie Bradshaw is you as a person?
I don't know that I'm really the right person to ask. I think what any writer of a long-running television series will tell you is that eventually, you know, writers start writing around the party that is playing a part, and so those are very identifiable things that people can connect to, and I understand that. I don't think one could ever possibly dress to either, you know, disprove a critic or you know, hope to be in their graces, maybe better, more fondly. I think, you know, the best you can do is be yourself, make choices that you feel good in, and it's highly likely someone will disapprove or someone will find it objectionable, but really one cannot leave the house trying to please every single person every day. That's simply not realistic, and it's probably not a very healthy way to live a life.
What do you think makes Manila an exciting shopping destination or a fashion destination?
Well, this store, let's just start with that. I mean, it's so hard for me as somebody who's not completely familiar with Manila, let alone the entire country, but obviously this store is an enormous draw for people. There's been a lot of excitement about this location, this destination specifically. But I just think, you know, I'm always attracted to cities. I always see the virtue in cities. So when I'm driving around, it's not so much the shopping, it's as much for me what my eye sees, you know, whether it's, what do you call them, the all that kind of shopping with the eye, outside of shopping here, that to me is equally as interesting, but I feel that way about my own city too. You know, I love walking on the streets of New York and just seeing people of different sizes and shapes and colors and backgrounds and smelling different